In this video, I will be summarising my top epic moments of Kendi. You know, I'm just gonna say all the moments I found heartbreaking, hilarious, unexpected, sad, everything. Like, I don't know, let's just get into it. So, my first moment I want to share is the very first opening scene where Kendi gets adopted by La Casa di Pony, which is the pony home, how you say it in Italian. And basically it's around the 20th century, like before World War I, and in America, I think Michigan. And Kendi, she's like a literally newborn, and she was lost, she was like abandoned in the snow. And then this boy named Tom, he hears a baby crying outside, so he gets Miss Pony and Suor Maria to like listen to what he has to say / show, and they find a baby outside. But it's not Kendi, it's Annie / Annie. And so Annie, she's like Kendi's best friend, because they are both found in the snow. Because then Suor Maria, she hears another child crying, and then she finds Kendi in another part of the snow. So yeah, then this whole story, this is like an iconic scene, like we all know it if you've watched the anime. It's really hard to watch it now. I don't know where you can find it. Like, I've only found the Japanese version, the Italian one on like an illegal website, but that's fine. What can you do? I don't know. I swear my mother downloaded all the discs, like the whole series, but she left it in Italy, and every year we go there. She says, okay, I'm gonna get them, but she never does, so great. Then this also is a scene that's also good. It's like links to the first one. It's when Miss Pony explains to the girls, like, Tom was actually the one who like rescued you in the snow, because he was the one who heard you, and he got adopted right now by like a farmer. And they were like, oh my gosh, he actually saved us, because they always got into fights as kids. So like, they, for the last chance, they run and try to say goodbye and say thank you for like finding us and hearing us. So yeah, it's so emotional, but yeah. So a while later, like a long while, Annie, so Kendi's friend, got adopted already, and now it's Kendi's turn to get adopted, and she got taken in by the Lagan family, where the family's two kids, Elisa and Neil, the like twin / siblings. They are like the bullies of the story. Like, they keep bullying Kendi, like making fun of how like poor she is and stuff. And they just treat her like dirt, but it's okay, because Kendi gets her revenge. Like, she gets like all the boys. Like Elisa, she tries to flirt with all the boys, but no, Kendi gets them because she deserves them. But yeah, back to this scene. So Clint / Clean, I don't know what the heck his name is. He's not even a cat. It's over a painting of Anthony, who is like, yeah, who is Kendi's love interest, who she saw in a park once. Like, she had a hallucination and saw him. But yeah, and then a few days later, Elisa and Neil, they like bully Kendi because of the ornament, or like the pendant that she was holding, and she's like, give it back to me, like. And then she's like so upset, then she just starts running, crying, and then she just trips, and then she like, it's like all hazy, then she looks up, and then she sees Anthony and like flowers around, like the typical anime rose. Yeah, and this is when they first meet each other. I don't know if it's a hallucination. I think it is, but maybe it's not, I don't know. But yeah, it's just an iconic moment, like when they first meet, and then the whole story, the whole relationship starts to blossom. But yeah. The third scene I wanted to say is when Kendi somehow meets all of Anthony's cousins. Like, so randomly she's in a forest and she's thirsty, so she sees this pond / waterfall, and then somehow this boy comes out of a boat, and it's Archie, one of Anthony's cousins. And I'm not gonna lie, I had a crush on him at some point. Like I did not expect him to come out of the boat. I was like, oh, I was like dying of laughter. I was like, what? But yeah, later she meets Stia, Alistair, basically, and whose nickname is Stia, and yeah, he's like a mechanical guy. He has a weird obsession with mechanics, and he just makes these weird inventions that are slightly useless, but good effort. But yeah. And the next scene I want to say is when Kendi somehow, she's upset or something, and somehow she falls asleep in a boat, and then somehow the current carries her away into a waterfall, and then she's saved by none other than William, who was like an uncle of Anthony or something. I don't know. I don't get this storyline. It's so confusing, but it's fine. And then somehow he gets mistaken for a bear because of the beard, and oh my gosh, this scene is iconic because like every time my family would watch it, the cousins would watch it, we'd all know that this scene was coming out, the bear scene. Yeah. However, this scene is needed because it explains the concept or context of the following scene that I'm about to show you. And this is because in the next scene, Anthony gets so mad at Kendi for like scaring him or something that he punches her. Like, oh my gosh, this show is violent. Like, I don't know. Yeah. Like, in this show, they do so many punches. Like, it's so violent. You can't show this to kids. They get the wrong information. They're like, you can't punch people, you know? But anyways, this scene is hilarious. It's like when Anthony, he like handcuffs Neil into saying like, where's Kendi, or what did you do? And then they get Stia's lie detector to like see if he's lying. I don't think it's useful, but it's fine. And then yeah, he punches him and it's just chaotic. And this scene actually cracked me up. It's where Terence, oh my gosh, Terence. He comes later, I'll tell you later, but Terence just randomly stares in the air and Kendi's like, what are you thinking? And then he goes in for a kiss. And then bam, she smacks him. He's like, Kendi? And she's like, Terence, oh my gosh, you're so stupid, oh my gosh. She's like, sei scemo, Terence, sei un bastardo. And then he gets angry at her and he punches her. And then he's like, allora non è vero che siamo innamorati. And then he's like, so I have to ask permission to kiss you then. And then she gets annoyed again and punches him. And she's like, tu sei un bastardo, ti uccido, cazzo di merda. Oh my gosh. Okay, maybe I exaggerated a bit. It wasn't that explicit, you know, they didn't swear. But that's how I imagined. Oh, I would have said that if someone kissed me like that. Oh my gosh. Like, no. But anyways, and these are just some more moments of when Terence started punching the whole schoolboys. And even though the show is a bit violent, at least you know not to mess with Terence, because you will get punched and beaten. And I'm telling you, Terence is a bad boy. Like, he smokes, he skips class, he has a harmonica and he just plays it instead of being in lessons. Like, he started snoozing in church, like Terence. Wake up, boy, like, okay, but yeah. In this moment / scene, Anthony and Kendi, they're starting to become closer to each other, you know, more lovey-dovey, something like that. And so then they get hungry and they go into a sandwich shop. And then the owner or something, the chef, he's like, what's this crazy man doing? He's eating a sandwich of cutlery. And then everyone's laughing in the shop. And I was like, povero Anthony, he just did nothing wrong. Like, just because he's from a rich family, like, he's all posh. So he doesn't know how to eat a sandwich. And then, yeah, then Kendi has to teach him. And then he's like, oh my gosh, this is delicious. And then, yeah, so we all know this scene, the sandwich scene. We all know it. It's stuck in our brains, apparently. But yeah. Hold on a minute. This is a spoiler warning. There will be a massive spoiler right here. So if you don't want to watch the spoiler, skip until this time frame down here. But if you actually want to watch it and you don't really care about the show, then watch it. I don't care. Do what you want. Okay, here we go. I repeat, this is a spoiler. So then later in the day, Kendi and Anthony, they want to see their fortune. So they go into this fortune teller place, and the woman, she's like looking at the cards to see what their fortune is. And then Kendi is like, her fortune is like full of happiness, love, you know, all her dreams come true and stuff. And then Anthony, it's his turn, but then you can see like the death card. And then she tries again to find a different fate, but it's still death. So yeah, and this is when you know it's about to go down. So then one day they are horse riding, and then this fox comes out of nowhere and scares the horse that Anthony's riding on, and that causes him to go flying, and you know what happens next. R.I.P. Anthony. Seriously, it's like, we all know it. Like, I've seen it like a million times. We all know it's coming. As soon as you start watching the show, you know, it's inevitable. You can't avoid it. Okay, so yeah, this scene is like when Kendi goes back to the La Casa di Pony, and the children are doing like a nativity play, like the angels, to like help convert / change the hearts of like bandits or something, like thieves. And then the men, they're like, oh my gosh, I feel so holy, I feel something has changed within me. And oh my gosh, it's so sweet and angelic, and it's like so, you know, beautiful, emotional. I don't know. I just had to put it in there. This scene is also iconic. It's when Kendi goes to London to the St. Paul's school, like boarding school, and she's on the boat, and she sees a mysterious figure in the shadows, and then she thinks it's Anthony, but yeah. And then she goes up to this mysterious man, and it's Terence, the guy from before. But the scene I showed you before was after this scene, like way after. But it's okay. And then this is when they first meet, actually, and yeah. And she's like, "Are you crying or something?" And he's like, "Nah, what? I'm not crying at all." And then yeah, and then Kendi ends up in London, and she meets Archie and Stia, and then yeah, the whole shebang of the academy starts. So yeah.
Questa chiesa è bellissima. È l'abbazia di...
And then at some point in the show, the Uncle William guy, he returns in London because he has a zoo or something. I don't know, some zoo episodes start to happen, I don't know. But me and my sister, we were always making fun of this scene, like, because like most of the characters have long hair. So William, Terence and Archie, they all have long hair, sort of. So we just call them the Long Hair Freedom Club. And it's like, they let their hair loose, they let it down, they're like, we don't care. And then yeah, like when we're on the streets, like when I was on the streets, I would just spot people with long hair, like, oh, Long Hair Freedom Club, yes, let the hair loose. And this is the final scene that I want to share. It's when Kendi, like, she just had enough. Like at some point she becomes a nurse. She runs away from school and becomes a nurse. But yeah, then somehow she tries to track down Terence, but he's like into acting and drama and stuff. And then it said that he goes to Chicago, but I don't know, somewhere like Broadway-ish or something, I don't know. And then yeah, so Kendi returns back to La Casa di Pony, and it's all fun, and they're all together. It's just so sad, oh my gosh. But it's okay. But yeah, spoilers, as in, I did not say the spoilers, but if you want to see the full version, I think there's some websites for the Japanese version. It's, you know, It's emotional. You have to watch it. Like, it will change your life. But yeah. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video, this top how many moments of Kendi that I wanted to share. So yeah, my final message to say is, let's all be just like Kendi. She's happy and graceful and she loves life. So let's all be positive now and forever. All right? I hope you enjoyed this video and I'll see you in the next one.